Wait, don't fire him, a little girl's trembling voice echoed through the grand marble lobby of the company's headquarters. Everyone froze. The billionaire CEO, standing tall in her pristine white suit, turned sharply to see her daughter clinging to the sleeve of the man she had just fired, a janitor. "Mom," the girl whispered, tears streaming down her face, he saved my life. Hey friends, before we dive into this powerful story of kindness, fate, and redemption, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Soul Kindness, where every story reminds us that even small acts of goodness can change everything. Now, let's begin. Daniel Ross was a single dad in his early 40s, a quiet man who worked as a night janitor in one of the city's tallest corporate towers. Every evening, after picking up his 10-year-old daughter Lily from school, he would drop her off at their small apartment, help her with homework, and then head to his job at Henderson Global Enterprises, one of the most powerful firms in the city. His boss, CEO Victoria Henderson, was known for her ruthless precision. She built her empire from nothing, but compassion wasn't her strong suit. Daniel didn't mind. He wasn't there to impress anyone. He was there to survive, to provide for Lily after his wife's tragic passing 3 years earlier. His nights were long, and his hands were calloused, but when he saw Lily smile every morning, he knew it was worth it. One stormy evening, Daniel was working late on the 40th floor when he noticed the elevator doors stuck open. He peeked inside, and froze. A small figure was curled up in the corner, shivering. It was a young girl, soaked from the rain, clutching a small teddy bear. "Hey, sweetheart, are you okay?" Daniel asked softly, kneeling beside her. The girl looked up, terrified. I got lost. I was waiting for my mom, but then everyone left." Daniel wrapped his jacket around her and guided her downstairs to the security office, making her a cup of hot cocoa from the vending machine. "Don't worry," he said gently. "We'll find your mom." She smiled weakly. "You're nice. My name's Emma." Before Daniel could respond, the doors burst open and in stormed Victoria Henderson herself, followed by 2 security guards. Her eyes went wide. "Emma," she cried, rushing forward to embrace her daughter. Daniel blinked. "Her daughter?" Victoria looked up at him, her expression tightening into a mask of corporate control. "Who are you? Why are you with my child?" "Ma'am, she was lost in the building," Daniel explained calmly. "I found her crying in the elevator. I just made sure she was safe." Victoria didn't thank him. She simply nodded curtly and left, holding Emma close. But that night, as Daniel returned to his empty apartment, he didn't realize that this small encounter would change his life forever. A few weeks later, things went wrong. Daniel was cleaning near the executive offices when a finance director accused him of stealing a company tablet. Daniel tried to explain that he had simply found it under a chair, but no one listened. The next morning, Victoria summoned him to her office. "Mr. Ross," she said coldly, "we've reviewed the report. I can't tolerate theft in my company. You're dismissed, effective immediately." Daniel's throat tightened. "Ma'am, I didn't steal anything. I was just trying to return." Her hand lifted sharply. "That's enough. Security will escort you out." Daniel stood there, numb. He'd given everything to this job, his nights, his health, his pride, and in an instant, it was all gone. When he went home that evening, Lily noticed his silence. "Daddy," she whispered, "did something bad happen?" He forced a smile. "It's okay, baby. We'll figure it out." But deep down, Daniel didn't know what to do. Bills were piling up. Rent was due. And for the first time, the man who had always been strong for his daughter felt broken. Days later, Victoria attended a charity gala with Emma. The crowd sparkled with laughter and luxury. But while adults mingled, Emma slipped away toward the hotel's back courtyard. She had been restless ever since that night she got lost. The janitor, Mr. Ross, had been so kind. She wanted to see him again, to thank him properly. But as she wandered near the alley behind the hotel, she heard shouting. 2 men, drunk and angry, were arguing near the parking lot. Before she could turn away, one of them stumbled toward her. "Hey, what's a kid doing out here?" he slurred, grabbing her wrist. Emma screamed. And just then, a shadow moved through the rain. A familiar voice shouted, "Let her go." Daniel. He had been working a temporary cleaning shift at the very same hotel. He lunged forward, pulling the man away and shielding Emma with his body. Security rushed in moments later, detaining the men. Emma was trembling, but safe. Victoria came running, panic flooding her face. Emma! Oh my God! She dropped to her knees and hugged her daughter tightly. What happened? Emma pointed shakily toward Daniel. Mom, he saved my life. Again. Victoria looked up and froze. The man standing before her was the same janitor she had fired just days ago. His uniform was torn, and his cheek was bleeding, but his eyes were steady, calm. Mr. Ross, she whispered. I just did what any father would do, he said quietly. Your daughter's safe. That's what matters. For the first time in years, Victoria felt her walls crack. She had built her empire on control, but this man, this humble janitor, had reminded her what true strength looked like. The next morning, Victoria arrived at Daniel's apartment. Lily opened the door, her small face lighting up in surprise. Hi there, Victoria said softly. Is your dad home? Daniel appeared, hesitant. Ms. Henderson. She took a deep breath. I made a mistake. I judged you without knowing your story. And I owe you more than an apology. She handed him a letter, an offer letter. I want you to come back. Not as a janitor, but as our facilities supervisor. Full-time. Better pay, full benefits. You deserve it. Daniel blinked, overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. Victoria smiled faintly. Say yes. And maybe, one day, forgive me. Months later, the company hosted its annual employee appreciation event. Daniel stood proudly beside Lily, now thriving and happy. Emma ran up to him, handing him a small drawing, a picture of him with a superhero cape. Because you saved me, she said, grinning. Victoria watched from the stage, her eyes misting. Sometimes, she said to the crowd, the people we overlook are the ones holding the world together. This man reminded me of that. The room erupted in applause. Daniel's heart swelled with gratitude, not for the recognition, but for the journey. For the kindness that had come full circle. And as the story fades out, the narrator's voice returns. In a world where success often blinds us, never forget the greatest heroes are often the quiet ones, doing their best when no one's watching.